So here we have our tutorial experience. One of the things that we wanted to accomplish with our tutorial is to put players in immediately exciting and sort of dangerous situation. So you notice we're continuing our personal story. You can tell when we're continuing our personal story by the presence of that green starburst.
We can protect you at the end.
And so once again, we wanted the players to be in sort of an immediate, exciting situation. Centaurs are attacking the town, and it's up to the player to help the people of the town, get them to safety, and save the day. You'll notice this is not an instanced area. This is a multiplayer area. You'll see other players running around. A couple things to note about our combat, as you see Matthew engaging some centaurs. Our combat, we wanted to be very much about positioning and about being in the right place and relative to where your opponent is. And to facilitate that, we have a few things like most of our abilities and skills can be used while you're moving. We wanted to do that to maintain kind of the flow of combat so that you weren't constantly held in place by things you were doing. You'll also notice Matthew dodging enemy attacks. You can dodge really simply by double tapping in any direction. You'll also see things like...
Thank you so much.
You'll also see things and notice that we have no auto attack. Whenever Matthew attacks, it's because he's used a skill explicitly, and if he wants to, he can right-click a skill and it will automatically execute whenever it becomes available. But he doesn't need to do that, and we did that so that our combat would be much more immediate and feel more sort of action-y. We'll head over to the inn now to see what's going on.
Stay calm, stay alert.
You must be the lifesaver everyone's talking about. Whoever you are, thanks for sending those villagers here. We'll keep them safe.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thackeray's calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious, but I can't spare anyone.
I'll go. Captain Thackeray's never failed Divinity's reach. If I can help him, I will.
Balthazar bless you. That's the spirit that'll win this war. Good luck.
So this is, as Randy mentioned before, one of the ways that we tell our story is through cutscenes. And you'll note, similar to kind of the opening cutscene, we use a mix of 2D and 3D elements. So as we head to the garrison, I wanted to point out a few things. So you'll notice the weather. It's raining, it's thundering, it's storming. We have this particular area set that way so that we can kind of heighten the mood of danger and excitement in this initial area. But once you get out into the open world, you'll see weather effects that change. You'll see events that affect weather. For example, in one area there's an event that kicks off a giant blizzard. Things like that. You'll also notice we have a night and day cycle in the game.
Centaurs are in the garrison.
That also affects what events are available. So we've just actually run into our first dynamic event. You'll notice we didn't have to talk to anybody. We didn't have to accept any quests. We were told the garrison was in trouble and we come over to help. We also find a bunch of players already participating in this event, and we kind of just join in. We don't need to group with these players. We don't need to make sure that we're all kind of in the same group. It's kind of a truly cooperative experience. We just find other players in the world, and we can be sure that if they're in this area, that they have the same goals we do. And so that we're going to cooperate, we're going to help each other, and we're going to defeat these centaurs together. So we've actually driven off the centaurs, and now this event will chain into kind of a boss encounter.
What is that thing? It's huge!
That, soldier, is a threat. We're going to take it down. Forward! Destroy them! Charge!
Okay. So this is kind of indicative of something I talked about early. We want the player to feel like a hero. We don't want you doing menial tasks. We want the game to be fun. We don't want you to have to wait until you're a really high level before you see cool things in the game world. We want you to immediately see cool things, and we want you to be entertained. And so we throw things like this boss battle, which, you know, occurs at kind of the end of our tutorial. Matthew, why don't you switch into a different attunement there real quick? So Matthew just switched into water attunement. He's an elementalist, and so that's the elementalist's kind of unique ability, is to switch into different attunements. We can talk about that a little bit more later as we get into some more combat. So this is the end of kind of the tutorial experience. We're going to go into the real world, and from there you'll see how the game kind of opens up, and we'll experience some events, and you can see how things work.